Welcome to another episode of Sneaks, Friends, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. So, as you can see, for those that are watching on YouTube, we are live in another location. This isn't my house where you've seen it in my studio. You've seen it in my living room. You probably seen it in my daughter's room when that used to be our bedroom or the studio. Yeah, we've tried to do some things a little bit differently in 2025. It's a new year, so happy new year. But as we're going to get into talking about some of the sneakers for 2025, at least January, as now we've flipped the calendar and gone into a new year, we are now going to talk about some of the releases that have come out or will be coming out in the next several weeks. So again, thanks to all the listeners that are listening on Spotify or Apple or iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts, plus everyone that has been watching and commenting on YouTube. Much appreciated. But we are live in a different studio. This is Studio 185 as part of Henry's Camera, downtown Toronto, on Church and Shooter Street, just east of Toronto Eaton Center. So this is where we're going to do a couple episodes, try and do things a little bit differently, spice things up for the pod. But you know how we do it. Let's get into it. So let's talk about some of the sneakers that we'll be releasing in January of 2025. So for the most part, it is a pretty light month. There is not a ton of exclusive releases that are coming. I think if we look already ahead in what we're expecting, I think three or four major shoes kind of really are the ones that stick out. So like as I look at the list here, some you're familiar with, couple that you're not. So in the US, this weekend on a Saturday, you're very, very excited. Why? Because you're getting the Black Cat Jordan 3. Now, unfortunately, in Toronto, it is delayed. We will do a whole episode just on the Black Cat. So the Black Cat hasn't been out. Jordan 3, all black, one of the first all black Jordans that they've ever done. It hasn't been out in now 18 years. Why is it called the Black Cat? I'll kind of share with you. Black Cat is actually Jordan's nickname, for his ability to be stealth, to be lightning quick, to be strong and physical where necessary. But essentially, he was deemed the Black Cat. He's also known as Black Jesus. That's another name that people given Jordan before. So pretty exciting that this one has come back on the market. We're getting two of the original all black shoes. So we're getting the Black Cat 3. And then I think by December, we're getting the Black Cat 4. Actually, I had it on. I still have the OG pair from, I think, 17 years ago. So pretty excited. That is one of the major launches. It is as close as we're getting to a GR overall. So general release for those people that don't know. That shoe is going to be available on the 11th in November, or sorry, the 11th in January. But fortunately, because of some shipping issues and even with COVID and some of the port issues that are still out there, it's delayed in Canada. I'm Canadian. I live in Toronto as we're recording here in Studio 185, but this particular one is not coming out for a couple of weeks. The launch date has been moved now to February 1st. So if you haven't heard it, you're hearing it first. For all my Canadian listeners, this launch will not happen the way that we thought it was originally. Still will be exciting. Know that people are after. We know this is arguably the biggest Jordan release year we've ever seen as Nike turns 40 years old. So very special time. We saw it with Foot Locker's 40th or 50th anniversary last year. We saw it with Champ Sports and WSS turning 40. So it's Nike's turn this year to have a major, major milestone. So you will see that shoe release in the very near future. And we'll be all here for it. So next up on the list, as I kind of scroll here, Next week, we have the Tech Challenge in the pink, Racer Pink as they call it. So Tech Challenge, if you don't know, that was Andre Agassi's one of his first shoes. Was came out last year as a retro. Racer Pink was one of the other, maybe not as popular as the Hot Lava is the one that came out last year, but it will definitely be a focal point for some of the OG heads like myself. Any of those, you know, and we had Uncle Skula, and we definitely going to have Dre on in the future again. OGs love the Tech Challenge. My boy Andy, we love that shoe. We talk about that shoe all the time. So that is one that is coming. January 16th was that one is that going to launch. We got another version of the AE1, this time a low, Year of the Snake. We know that there is tons of energy with Year of the Snake. It kind of aligns with the next shoe. So Kobe is dropping a couple models that will release. Well, essentially, they were supposed to release today, but due to some issues, many stores, including Foot Locker, including Kith, and other retailers, don't have it available. It's not coming out for a couple weeks, but we have a Kobe 5 Year of the Mamba or Year of the Snake. We also have a red version Year of our Chinese New Year or our New Year version coming. It's the University Red one. It's originally supposed to be the 18th, or I think this date keeps shuffling around, but it's late. It's not coming out until probably sometime near the end of the month. We have the Jordan 5 Earth on the women's side, so it should be exciting. We got the Book One, and people don't love the Book One. I think there's some hit and miss colors. I think this is maybe the most fun one we have. We have the Forrest Gump Book One. So this is Devin Booker's shoe that plays for the Phoenix Suns. It's an all-white shoe with a little bit of blue trim and the red swoosh, taking the inspiration from the Cortez that Forrest Gump from his movie was sprinting all over the place. So that was a fun one. We got Year of the Snake, Jordan 11 Low. That is an amazing one that will come out. We got a collaboration on the 23rd. Monopoly meets LeBron 22. Call it the Wata. So an exciting one that comes out. And then probably the most anticipated shoe for me is this one. This is the one for everyone that's an OG head that is looking for a shoe in the month of January. You may be paying off the credit card bills, you may be reassessing the finances and the financial goals, but for those that love Deion Sanders, that love primetime, like myself, this is the shoe to get. What shoe am I talking about for those that are just listening? Lionel, spit it out already. All right. The OG Diamond Turf Atlanta is the shoe. This is the trainer of all trainers. This is the one that took me on a journey that aligned with my love for sneakers. In many regards, there were other shoes that I liked. This is my first love. This is the gateway shoe that I had to ultimately start what has been an amazing sneaker journey since 1993. I was a high school football player at that time. And I guess I'm old for those things. That's why they call me. I'm an OG. I fall into the OG category. I think I have an OG shirt on under the Sneaks Ryan's Life crew neck. And by the way, if you forgot, we have launched many new items on the Sneaks Rhymes and Life podcast that are now available in your favorite NFL colors. So hit me on the DMs on Instagram. Tell me size and color. Lions has been the most popular one so far. Also, my Commander contingent, probably the second most popular one, but we'll do any NFL team, particularly if you're in the playoffs. Send me a DM. We'll get it done. But to go back to my story about the Diamond Turf. So I was in high school. My high school colors were the Atlanta Falcons colors, predominantly black with red and white trim. I went to David and Mary Thompson in Scarborough at that time. This shoe aligned with that color scheme absolutely perfectly. Didn't wear it on the field. It only released in 1993, so it was literally coming up to my end of my graduation year. But I was a fan of Dion, huge fan since he was in um, Florida State Seminoles player. He was a multifaceted and our collegiate superstar. He played basketball. He was a track star, but baseball and football were his first loves, and he was the one that ultimately took playing two sports to a whole new level and playing it in modern day um, at the professional level. There's many stories about him being a Brave and also being a Falcon and taking helicopters to and from games, even in the playoffs, returning. He's the only player ever to hit a home run and score a touchdown in the same week. Like, this is the legend of Deion Sanders. So when we think about the Diamond Turf, this was his original shoe. Um, and it's amazing that the 40th anniversary of Nike that they bring out one of the classics. It's only been since last year when Dion rejoined Colorado, who's a Nike team. And ultimately, there were some challenges as he was with Under Armour. He was then a free agent. It's been a story that contracts have just not gone Dion's way. He was with Atlanta. They didn't offer him a contract. He went to the 49ers, won a Super Bowl. It was 1 year. Didn't offer him a contract. He went to Dallas, won a Super Bowl, played another couple of years. Contract expired, didn't sign with them. Signed with the Commanders, previously the Washington Redskins. Played 1 year, and it was kind of the twilight of his career. Didn't offer him a contract. Finally had a resting place with the Baltimore Ravens, and at 37, that's why he changed his number from 21 to 37. He ended his career with that team. So this is the shoe. This is the shoe that started it all. I wore this in high school and into university. My brother made even like knew I was so obsessed with Dion. Like, he gave me a gift. Uh, it was a laundry bag. You don't think a laundry bag's pretty expensive. He actually stenciled the Diamond Turf logo, 21, 24. He's 24 in baseball. That was his number. 21 in football. That was on the tongue here. This is the 2010 version. And you can see that they didn't put the Diamond Turf logo because of the dispute with Dion, and he wasn't with Nike. But we will get the OG logo back on this particular model when it launches in the next several weeks. So I believe it is January 24th will be the day that the Diamond Turf will be back on the market for everyone. So have a look. That is the story, the allure of Deion Sanders, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame player in the NFL. Now he's a coach at Colorado. His son is going to be a top 2 draft pick in the NFL draft in 2025. He also played in the World Series for the Atlanta Braves, hit 300, was an elite stolen base artist and athlete. So Deion has done a lot. He was a track star and All-American when he was at Florida State. So Deion is one of the legends of not even just the sneaker game, but athletics and where athletics meet sneakers. He's not Michael Jordan, but when we talk about just a cross-trading model between him and Bo, those are two of the best athletes we've ever had, the signature shoe. Now, we've had many people wear sneakers. They're maybe not one of those that is more impactful to the sneaker game, and then how the longevity we've had since 93 that this shoe is still relevant. We saw DT96 launched in 2024. First color sold out. They brought out an Atlantic color. They brought out a white. There's a special edition Colorado that are going for $600-700 US because there's an away which is black and with a little bit of gold, and then a home white and gold that are extremely limited. So Diamond Turf is back in the house. Glad it got a chance to have a little bit of shine. We'll hold it here as we kind of wrap up this episode of the podcast. So what else do we got cooking? We got a Jordan 1. We talked about the 11. January 29th, we got the Lunar New Year, as I meant to say earlier, Jordan 1 low. There's also a Zion 4 that wraps up this month. But it's a light month. There's not a lot that is actually dropping other than, call it Tech Challenge, Kobe, and then obviously we talked about the kerfuffle or challenges that we have with not having the Black Hat launch in Canada at the same time as it's launching in the US. But that is what's happening. Those are the hot sneakers. I'm telling you, this is the one my OGs know all about. That in 93, we didn't even do the strap. We let that boy flap in the breeze. But cop what you want. It's a time to reflect, time to think about where you want to be. I know I talked to my boy Skula. So Uncle Skula, aka Professor Skula, big ups to you. You got me in back to my OG roots in my OG bag. I went deep into the archives and just started pulling out amazing sneakers that I was able to have. This is not one that I pull out because this is in regular rotation. If you ain't got this one, you love OGs, this is maybe where you need to start in 2025. That's it. That's Sneaks Runs in Life. I'm your host, Lionel McDonald. This is one of the shoes that you may need in 2025. Diamond Turf Trainer, Atlanta Falcons. We also got Black Hat 3. We got Tech Challenge, Racer Pink, on top of some other cool modern day shoes. And then we got a Kobe 5 in 2 different colors. Year of the Mamba, both the white, or sorry, the red, University red on top of the black version. So got a little bit of heat after you blew all that money in December, but you'll see what's available as the months progress. So that's it. Sneaks Rounds in Life. Lionel McDonald. Be out.